All right. Hi guys, how are you? All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you. My name's Amy Garland Rusnak. I am the teacher of pre-nursing and pharmacy tech program. And there's a chat box available. I have an academic teacher that is answering any questions in the chat box. If something pops in your mind while I'm talking and you want to ask a question, you can go ahead and just type it into the chat box and he can relay that to me and we can talk about it, that type of thing. I don't mind if you interrupt or anything like that. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll also give you an opportunity for questions if you want to ask anything. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So welcome to our open house. This is our first virtual open house that we've ever had. Typically, we advertise and we have students come in that want to see our classrooms, meet with us, talk with us, do activities. So normally that's how we do our open house, but because of COVID and everything, we are doing it virtually this year. So maybe later on in the year, depending on the situation with COVID, possibly we might have an opportunity for you to come in and actually physically meet us and see the classroom and look at it and that type of thing. But for now, this is what we have. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is CTE. CTE stands for Career Tech Education. And this is different than your traditional homeschool that you stay at, because when you come to a CTE program, you're going to do half your day in a program that you have chosen that interests you, and then half of your day at academics. All right. And so TCTC, Trumbull Career and Technical Center, is a CTE school. Okay. We're nationally recognized. We service Trumbull County. So there are 20 schools in Trumbull County that if you want to go to a career tech education, you would come here to TCTC. So we have 20 homeschools that feed into our school. So when you look at CTE education and you look at the statistics, there's a lot of positives about it. So as far as graduation rate, 93% of students that go to a technical high school graduate, as compared to about 80% that stay at just their home schools. So that's a considerable difference. I would imagine, if I want to elaborate on that difference, it's probably because the students that come to the Career Tech Center are doing something that interests them, it's hands-on, it keeps them more engaged, and they're doing something that they know will lead to a future career that's worthwhile. If you look at the other statistic there, it talks about being prepared for your future career. And students that go to a technical school are 91%. 91% of CTE students are better prepared for their futures compared to 44% that stay at their home school only. And then as far as learning real world skills, 90% of CTE students have the ability to learn those real world skills in our labs on a daily basis compared to only 49% that stay at home schools. So there's a lot of positives about going to career tech rather than just staying at your home school. And the first step is just coming tonight and seeing what this is all about. So we are glad you're here. Just to give you a little bit of information about myself, I graduated with a bachelor's of nursing degree in 1994 from West Liberty State College. And then I worked as a nurse for about 6 years in reproductive endocrinology. And what type of nursing that is when couples are having trouble conceiving and having children, we did things like in vitro fertilization and all of those reproductive technologies that you hear about in the news. And that's what I did. After a while of being a nurse, I thought, I really want to go back to be a teacher. So I went to the University of Akron and I got my teaching degree. And then after I first became a teacher, I taught at Matthews Middle School and High School for a long time. And during that time, I also received my master's degree in education. And then in 2014, I was hired at TCTC, and then I've taught the pre-nursing and pharmacy tech now. I live in Hubbard. I have 4 children, a husband and a dog named Buck. And I really do love like active things. I love sports and stuff like that. As I get older, I kind of live my life through my children who play sports. But I played softball in college, and I love softball and basketball, baseball. I also like to read and bake. So those are just some things about myself. Now, as far as what you're going to learn in the pre-nursing pharmacy tech program, all right, this program, first of all, is very good for anyone that wants to do anything in healthcare. It will give you the good foundational skills and knowledge that you need in order to move on to college. And I say that because you don't have to go to college out of my program. I do have students that graduate and work as pharm techs and state tested nursing assistants, and they do not go on to college. But the majority of my students do choose to go on to college and further their career and become more than an STNA. They build off of that or become more than a pharm tech. That's like just kind of like a springboard for where they want to go. But these are some of the things you would learn in my program. Okay, you're going to learn the principles and foundation of healthcare. You're going to learn actual patient skills and how to care for patients. I'm going to show you some pictures coming up of my room where we do have 4 patient beds, and we practice those skills on the mannequins and on each other. And then you go to a nursing home for your clinicals. And so you actually take care of real live patients. All right. Some other things you're going to learn in my program are anatomy and physiology. You're going to learn a lot of medical terminology. You're going to learn how to decipher medical terminology, how to figure out what those long words are that the doctors and nurses use. It's kind of like a foreign language, but once you get it, it's not as difficult as you think it is. You're going to learn medical math, how to figure out the IV rate or the drip rate, or you're going to learn how to figure out dosage calculations on medications and things like that. Another thing you're going to learn is you're going to learn the top 200 drugs, both the brand and the generic, that are used in the United States. That's important not only if you're going into nursing, but also if you're going to become a pharmacist or a pharm tech, you have to have knowledge of those medications. You're going to learn how to fill a prescription and assist the pharmacist in the pharmacy. You're also going to learn pharmacy compounding, which is another word for like mixing medications, kind of specialized medications, lotions, lip balms, things like that. You're going to learn how to do aseptic technique, which is sterile technique. And you got to use that when you're doing IVs or chemotherapy drugs and things like that. So that's one of those skills that you learn. You're going to learn about the different billing and legal aspects of healthcare. You're going to learn prescription transcription, which is basically taking a prescription and taking the abbreviations that the doctor has written and putting it into just general language that a person that does not have any medical knowledge will understand on that bottle, and produce a label, and that way they take their medication safely. All right, you're going to learn how to keep records in the pharmacy, and you're going to really learn the laws and everything about pharmacology and the pharmacy. And lastly, we do have software here at the school that you would be able to put the information of the patient into the computer, and then it would generate a label that you can put on that prescription. So that's, I mean, you learn a lot in this program, but that's kind of like just an overview of some of the major points. If you look in the center of this slide, these are the certifications or the memberships that you will receive if you come to TCTC, okay? You will get CPR and first aid certified. If you pass the STNA test, the state comes in and tests you. You will be an STNA, which stands for State Tested Nursing Assistant. And you will also have the opportunity to take the EXCPT, which stands for Exam of Certified Pharm Techs. And if you pass that test, you will be a pharm tech. And lastly, all students here at TCTC belong to what's called a Career Tech Student Organization. And all the medical programs here at TCTC belong to HOSA, which stands for Health Occupation Students of America. And in that, you will have the opportunity to take on leadership roles. If you want to be an officer, you can do that. You can go to competition. When we don't have COVID going on, we actually travel different places, stay overnight at the hotels. You compete in different competitions. It's a lot of fun. And then you also will be asked to join community service if you want to. We do fundraising if you'd like to. And then HOSA actually, if you go into healthcare into college, it extends into the college years too, if you want to continue to be a member in that. All right. And then on the right-hand side of this slide are just some things that you kind of need to be in this program. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a difficult program. The students that come to this program typically are very good students, and they want to do well, and they're intrinsically motivated, and it's very important to them that they get good grades. But some things that you need to have are, you need to have excellent organizational skills. We do cover a lot of content. And so you need to be organized in order to take that all in and study it and all of that. You need to have good communication skills. You're going to be talking to patients at nursing homes. If you're in the healthcare business, you're going to have to talk to clients and patients. So that's important. As far as your GPA goes, they do look at your GPA for your 9th and 10th grade years. They are recommending that you have at least a 2.5 grade point average. And they are also recommending that you have biology and algebra 1 before you come here, and you get a C or better in those classes. In addition to that, they do look at attendance. They want you to have strong attendance, not a lot of absences, because you can't miss school here. If you do, you'll get too far behind, and no more than 2 credit deficiencies. And if you have a credit deficiency, they will ask that you do some of those classes online to get caught up. Okay. The next slide is what's called a career tree. All the programs here at this school have a big, huge career tree posted in their classroom, and I do as well. And if you look at this, it basically shows you 3 different levels of the tree: an entry level, which is at the bottom, a technical level, technical careers in the middle, and professional careers at the top. I'm not going to read all these professions to you, but the entry level careers are the ones that you could do, the jobs you could do, or the professions you could do right out of high school if you come to TCTC in this program. All right. And obviously I don't have every single thing that you could do listed, but I do have some of the important ones that are kind of connected to the healthcare professions. So you'll see the very first 2 are certified pharmacy technician and state tested nursing assistant. So if you pass both of the certification tests in my program right out of high school, you could do those jobs. And just to give you a little bit of an idea, a state tested nursing assistant makes between $10 and $12 an hour, and a certified pharmacy technician makes between $12 and $15 an hour, depending on if you work at a hospital pharmacy or if you work at a retail pharmacy. If you work at a hospital pharmacy, you make more money. All right. If you look at that middle section, the technical careers, these are jobs you could do with a little additional training, or maybe an apprenticeship, or maybe an associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree, or even some advanced certifications. Okay. For example, in pharmacy tech, you can go on and get additional classes in chemotherapy drugs or IV solution drugs, and you can take an additional certification test to make you a chemotherapy pharmacy tech or an IV therapy specialist pharmacy tech. And if you get those classes and you take those tests, you can make even additional money, more money than the $12 to $15 an hour. Okay. And you would just deal with only chemotherapy drugs or only IV solutions. And you can see those jobs in that middle section. Okay. And basically what this shows you is the more education you have, typically, the more money you can make. All right. And if you go over to the right-hand side, the top level of the tree, these are professional careers. So these are careers where you have a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree, a master's degree, possibly a PhD, so on and so forth. And these are jobs like a pharmacist, a nurse anesthetist, a registered nurse, maybe a doctor, an anesthesiologist, so on and so forth. So obviously they make a lot more money than you would at those entry level careers. All right. And so you can take a look at that. Some more numbers for you as far as my program. So we have a very strong retention rate. And what that means is students that come to us in their 11th grade year, do they stay with us? Are they happy that they came here? And if you look at the graduating class from last year, we had 100% retention rate. And so that means that all the juniors that came to us their junior year here at this program, they stayed with us their senior year and they graduated last year, which is wonderful. All right. If you look at the college bound statistics from last year's graduating class, 60% of my students went on to a college or a university in the field of health or science. So that's wonderful. That means that the students, that came here, they thought that they would be interested in the healthcare field, and it looks by the statistics that that was indeed the case and that they continued on into college. Okay, in the next slide, these are some pictures of just some hands-on stuff, and I'm going to show you a video in a minute of students participating and doing some hands-on skill in my classroom. If you look at these pictures, excuse me, the upper right hand, those are students from this year that just completed their state tested nursing assistant clinical. We were coming out of the facility. We went to Shepherd of the Valley and Liberty and took care of residents for several days. And we were just coming out, and then we snapped a picture. The middle picture and the bottom right picture are pictures of students in my pharmacy that are doing skills like in the bottom right is a student who is working with an IV and using aseptic technique. And then in the middle picture, these are students that are compounding, or in other words, mixing different ingredients to make the specialized medication. And then the larger picture on the upper left are two boys that were in my class that were actually working the mechanical lift. This is also known as a Hoyer lift, to lift patients rather than you using your back and injuring yourself. And you would use that at the nursing home. Okay, and then these are some just pictures of my classroom. The one on the left and the one on the bottom right are just some of the patient beds. We have 4 patient beds in my classroom where you learn to do skills on the mannequins. We also learn to do skills on each other. You'll have a partner. And this is where you learn how to take care of the patients at the long-term care facility, the residents at the nursing home. And then in the upper right is a picture of my classroom where I would do lecture from, where you would take notes, take tests, get the content that you need for the program itself. And then these pictures are all in my pharmacy. So these are all the same room. I have a pretty large room. This is in the back of my room. And this is an actual little pharmacy that is set up. And it is just like a real pharmacy. We have empty containers. We don't have any real medications in here. But we do have real bottles that came from a pharmacy that had used all the medications up. We have pill bottles to fill prescriptions. You see that we have computers, we have software to do labels. So we are set up like a real pharmacy. All right, the next thing I want to do is I just want to quickly, before we do this one, I want to go ahead and share a short video with you of my pharmacy.
Are you interested in the healthcare field? At TCTC, you can enroll in the Healthcare Science Academy Pharmacy Technician Program and begin your junior year exploring all the healthcare careers and learning a great deal of information related to the medical field and pharmaceutical fields. In this program, you will learn medical terminology, pharmaceutical practices, and patient care. The Pharmacy Technician Program allows you to become more prepared for a post-secondary healthcare degree. Many students graduate from TCTC and go on to college in careers such as pharmacy, nursing, and varied other medical concentrations. Students in this program will have the opportunity to receive 2 certifications, one as a state-tested nursing assistant and the other as a certified pharmacy technician. You take both of these certification tests during your senior year here at the TCTC. Get started on an exciting, rewarding healthcare career by enrolling in the Healthcare Science Academy Pharmacy Technician Program today.
Okay, so these are some of, I have a wall in my room that I call student success stories, and any student that gets back to me after they graduate, tells me where they are, what they're doing, I go ahead and put that up on my wall. So a lot of these students that you're going to see over the next couple slides are actually from the graduating class of this past year. But I do have some students that had graduated a couple years ago also. On the left-hand side is Misty King. She is going to YSU. She's a biochemistry major. She aspires to be a physician. She's actually in something called the BACMed program, which is an accelerated program through YSU and NeoMed to become a doctor. In the middle is Nick Burgos. He goes to the Ohio State University. He is a PharmD major, so that's the major to become an actual pharmacist, and that's what he would like to be. On the right is Peyton Truman. She goes to YSU. She's a pre-med biology major, and she wants to be a physician also. On the left-hand side, these two young ladies graduated a couple years ago. I believe that they're juniors at the University of Toledo now, Carly Hartman and Sydney Palo. The one on the left, which is Carly Hartman, she is a pharmacist major, so PharmD major. And Sydney Palo on the right is a pharmaceutical sciences major. So she actually wants to make makeup for a living. So there's a lot of chemistry involved in that and things like that. So it does have to do with pharmacology and those types of things. In the center is Hunter Brown. He goes to the University of Pitt. He's a pre-pharmacy major and wants to be a pharmacist. On the right is Sierra Williams. She goes to Mississippi State University, and she is also a pre-pharmacy major and wants to be a pharmacist. And then my last slide of student success stories, on the left is Hannah Lovejoy. She is a pharmacy technician, and she works at Trumbull Memorial Hospital Pharmacy, and she actually is going to nursing school right now too. Christian Soha is in the middle. He goes to Kent State University Trumbull branch in the nursing program, and he wants to be a nurse anesthetist. And Monica Davis, she goes to YSU. She graduated several years ago. She's a biochemistry major, and she wants to be a physician's assistant. So as you can see, just because you come to this program, you don't necessarily want to be just a pharmacist. There's a lot of different things that you can be from this program. I've had students in here that want to be dentist, radiologist, nurse anesthetist, so on and so forth. So anything in the healthcare field, this program would be good. Now, one of the things you're going to want to ask yourself when you are picking a program and thinking about a job that you want in the future is there job growth? Are there going to be jobs available for what I want to do? It's wonderful to love what you want to do, but if you can't find a job in that area, that it's not going to help you in any way, okay? The one good thing about healthcare is it is a growing profession, okay? And especially with COVID going on and stuff, they're gonna need nurses, doctors, pharmacists, pharm techs, even more so. All right, if you look underneath where it says employment opportunities, it says the healthcare industry is expected to add 3.8 million new jobs by 2024, according to the Labor Department's projections. Nurses and physicians are the most visible positions in the industry. However, this growth will impact everyone. So they're going to need phlebotomists, pharmacists, clinical hospital staff, physical therapists, medical technicians, and many, many more healthcare positions. So I kind of put these charts together. On the left-hand side, these are the two things, if you came to this program, that you would have certifications in when you graduate, hopefully. State tested nursing assistant and pharmacy tech. And you can see that there is job growth there, 2.6 to 4% job growth. And I also put on there the median annual income in the state of Ohio for those jobs, just so you can kind of see what you would make as an STNA or a pharm tech, okay? When you move down to that chart on the bottom, on the left-hand side, so if you go beyond high school and you get additional training, like you want to become an LPN, you might have to go to school for another year to become an LPN or an LVN. Or if you want to become a registered nurse, that takes at least 2 years if you get an associate's degree. There's job growth there. And look at your median annual income. As an LPN, you can make about $42,000 a year. As a registered nurse, you can make about $65,500 a year in the state of Ohio. And then on the right-hand side, that chart is for advanced degrees. So these are professions where you have to go 4 years to college and then additional time after that, whether that be 2 more additional years or maybe even 4 more additional years if you're going to go to medical school and that type of thing. Look at the job growth there. For a nurse anesthetist and an anesthesiologist, those jobs are for the nurse anesthetist is a nurse, the anesthesiologist is a medical doctor, But these people help to put people to sleep during surgery and monitor them during surgery and then wake them up at the end. And the job growth is phenomenal there. And if you look at your median annual income, you're talking a lot of money per year that these people make. Now, there's a lot of schooling involved in those also, okay? But just to kind of give you an idea of what's out there in the state of Ohio. These are two students that gave testimonials that came to my program. Selena Richards is one of them. These are not pictures of those people, by the way, but Selena Richards, quote, said, "You should consider coming to TCTC because it's a great opportunity to further your education and get a head start in your career before anyone else in a regular high school." And Hannah Lovejoy, which was one of the pictures that I showed you that works at Trumbull Memorial, she said, "I'm glad I decided to attend TCTC Farm Tech because it prepared me for my future. I have a wonderful, stable job that pays well and has amazing benefits. I would do it all again in a heartbeat." And you hear this over and over from kids that come to TCTC and come to this program, that they do not regret it. It was the best decision they ever made. And they'll talk about the fact that this program is difficult and it took a lot of time and studying to get through, but they don't regret it in the end. They're so happy that they came. They feel so much further ahead. Now, some of you might have a question about academics. You might be concerned and think, am I going to be able to get all my academic courses that I need to graduate, and as well as get all of my program instruction? And the answer is yes. Okay. So during a 2-year period, you come to TCTC your junior and senior year, you will continue to get academic credits. You will take 2 maths, one your junior year, one your senior year. What maths you choose is up to you. You'll get 2 English credits, one your junior, one your senior year. You'll get 1 science credit, and then you'll get 1 government credit. Okay. And then, so 3 periods a day you do academics, and then 3 periods a day you do your program, your hands-on job skill stuff. Some of you might ask and might be interested in College Credit Plus. Can I get College Credit Plus at TCTC? And the answer is yes. We have lots of College Credit Plus courses. The teachers teach them here. They are hired by the university and TCTC. And so if you look at this, you can get College Writing 1, College Writing 2, American Lit and Diversity. Those are all English College Credit Plus courses. As far as math goes, you can get Introductory Statistics, College Algebra, Trigonometry, Calculus 1. And then it shows the number of hours those are worth. And then it tells you if you take that during your fall semester of 11th grade, spring semester of 11th grade, fall senior year, or spring senior year. And that's what those F's stand for. And then in addition to this, some more College Credit Plus stuff from Eastern Gateway Community College. You can also take another English class called Film and Literature. And then if you're in this program and you choose to take it College Credit Plus for the STNA program, you'll get 5 hours of college credit for that class. And as long as you pass it, you don't have to pay for it. The school pays for it, and you earn those 5 credit hours, which you start off college with, which is wonderful. Okay. And so as far as applications go, if you want to apply for the school, you just go onto the tctchome.com website, right where you signed up for this open house, actually, and you can apply. We do have a priority deadline, January 15th. However, I know that you can apply after that, but if programs fill up very quickly, you want to make sure that you get your application in as early as possible. And then the last thing I want to show you is you might want to jot this down if you think of a question later on in the next couple days or whenever. That is my email address that you can reach me at, amy.rusnak@tctchome.com. And then that number below that has my extension that comes right to my classroom. Okay, so you can write that down. And then if any of you have any questions, are there any in the chat box? Nothing? Okay. I am going to go back, stop sharing. Okay, and then I think you can see me now. So if anyone has any questions, you are more than welcome to ask me now. You could turn your microphone off. I don't know if I answered everything for everyone out there. Anyone? Okay. Well, like I said, if you would like to, I did provide my email to you and my phone number. That's also on the TCTC Home website if you want to get a hold of me or in contact with me. And I do thank you for coming tonight and joining us here at TCTC, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.